All right, what is good, boys and girls? Welcome to today's trade recap. Today is 11/6/2025. I took 3 trades today, 2 losses, 1 win. 1 loss was really stupid. Just really dumb. I guess you can say I was getting FOMO. And yeah, I ended up taking a loss. This is what it looked like. Where is the equal lows? Here they are, right here. Down towards here like that. I ended up taking a W with this 3-minute inversion right here, with a SMT at this 5-minute, and then I took a L. Where was my loss? Oh, I think it was right here up into this unfilled 15-minute. It was a mech towards this 15 minutes. So this is what that trade idea looked like. Stops at, like, I think it was like at this candle. Yeah, it was somewhere like down here. And I set a limit order. And yeah, so coming into this morning, I had a pretty neutral bias. We had, what's it called? We had this unfilled 4-hour below us, but there was also a bullish SMT. And then we also had a SMT with these 4-hour intermediate highs. We were clearly in a bearish structure. Market maker, what's it called? We were in a market maker sell model, which is kind of irritating. I didn't realize that sooner. Otherwise, probably wouldn't have took that mech, but I mean, I still liked it regardless. So that is what I was looking at. Pretty neutral price. This was previous day high along with a daily fair value gap. So the mech actually wasn't that bad. It was a second trade that really ended up irritating me. So at market open, we came down and manipulated lower into that or into this 1 hour right here, into that 4 hour. We also came down into this 5-minute gap over here, which is right here, and then we also hit a 15-minute, I believe, as well. Oh no, it was a 3-minute. It was a 3-minute, 5-minute, 1 hour, and 4 hour. And I said, okay, this 3-minute is the lowest I want to see price go, and then I want to see a rejection from there. And that's exactly what we got. We had LR above us. We got a double 1-minute inversion along with a 3-minute inversion. I entered off the 3-minute inversion, but set a limit order back at the IFVG. So I got tapped in with this candle and then instantly got stopped out. I guess I could have played this just a little bit different. I could have seen price hit this unfilled 4-minute, and then I just wouldn't have entered the trade because that would have been my break-even point. So that is something I missed. Just, human error. It is what it is. And then this second trade is just a bad trade overall. So we were coming down. We ended up tapping into this unfilled 5-minute, super premium unfilled 5-minute. Give me 1 second. Where is the lows? Right here. So we had a super premium unfilled 5-minute, and I was like, okay. We got a tap into it, and then a instant rejection out of it. My stops actually weren't all the way up here. They were like right here. Yeah, this is what it was exactly for a 1-to-1. And yeah, I got edged by a tick essentially. And then price ended up reversing. I did not go break even. Should have went break even, but it is what it is. And yeah, actually no, that was on my top step. That scenario happened on my top step. I went on my trading view. I set a limit order at the inversion. That's right, because I didn't see a tick of profit all day today, except for this last trade. And my take profit now was down towards these equal lows right here. And I ended up getting stopped out. And the way I could have played this differently is 2 things. I could have just not had FOMO and not watched it take out my jaw, right? And I also could have waited for this unfilled 15-minute to open up, right? And a tap into there and then a rejection out of it. And that's what we ended up getting. We ended up getting a tap into there, an SMT with this 5-minute. These 955 highs ended up getting taken out on ES. Here's 955. They ended up getting taken out on ES. So we had an SMT there. There was no reason for NASDAQ to go into that 5-minute. And then coming out of the 15-minute, we had this 3-minute inversion. I entered a little bit prematurely, probably with like 8 seconds left on the shot clock. I just had super strong conviction that we were going to go lower. And my break-even point was these internal lows right here, which was also relatively equal lows, basically equal lows. And then my take profit was this unfilled 15-minute gap right here. Yes, sir. It was right there. However, I never got, I set a limit order for my evals on this trade just so I can pass them and get better RR instead of just entering strictly off the inversion like an idiot. And I didn't get tapped in on here, but I did get tapped in on my top step. So I'm down around, let me show you guys my P&L real quick on the day. 2 trades took a big hit. Only my Tradeify account's copy traded today, so that's super solid. Bring it over here. Here is my P&L, right? We have 2 Tradeify accounts. This is a brand new, I guess, XFA on Tradeify. So is this one, so that's a little bit irritating. I'm starting off the XFA minus fucking $750. And then these are the 2 other evals I have on Tradeify, 1346 and 1229. These are all my other accounts across different prop firms, Lucid Trades, whatever. So yeah, I lost $1,200 or $1,300 in 2 accounts, $750 on those accounts, and then on Top Step, give me 1 second. Top Step, I lost like $150 across each account because I de-risked on that 3-minute inversion to 5 micros, and the first 2 trades I went in with 7. So here, I don't know if you guys can see this, but here is my trade on Top Step, and then my RP&L for the day is minus $145. So I did end up losing today, but it wasn't that big of a loss due to the fact that none of my evals copy traded. I did get a question in the Discord. Anyone take the continuation shorts down to internal SSL? We got to tap into the second 5-minute for value gap, which was also a 15-minute for value gap, internal SMT. We also got to tap into EQ of the current range. Yes, we did. And most recent lower time frame price leg. We got a 1-minute inversion with a V-shaped recovery. Was there a 1 minute coming out of there? I don't see a 1 minute unless if he's talking about this one, but I ended up taking a 3-minute, which is like my entry point was like right here. So a little bit worse RR, but the 1 minute did work as well. We had super clear, like, bro, those shorts were so free. That second trade I took was just super, super dumb. And then someone also said, also been observing the markets for continuation long/shorts after a massive dump/pump. Market will retrace into a 5-minute for value gap formed that was the closest to the draw on liquidity, and even giving a convincing inversion like 1012, which was this one, the one I took, quote unquote, or in parentheses he said, and then it may even take it super close to your take profit, but it ends up failing and reversing, and those relatively equal lows or highs then becomes engineered liquidity because price seeks to first reach back into EQ of the recent lower time frame price leg minimally, which tends to be the second 5-minute for value gap above, and which we ended up hitting, which was also the 15-minute, right? Which is usually the 15-minute for value gap. Yep. Then when price taps into equilibrium or the higher premium of that lower time frame leg, then the true continuation shorts happen, which is super, super true, right? So I entered prematurely off this one because I was getting FOMO, and it was just a bad trade overall. I would rate this short about like a C+ setup. This one, I'm taking 10 out of 10 times. I liked the low resistance liquidity. I liked the rebounds of the leg. We also had an unfilled 5-minute right above. I would give this about an A setup. I wouldn't give it an A+ just because it was counter trend to what we were doing. And then this continuation short is probably like the most S tier setup you'll ever see in your life. Clear draws lower, clear 3-minute inversion, rejecting a 5-minute internal SMT, also rejecting a 15-minute, whatever the case may be, right? So that was super, super solid. And yeah, that was really the only 3 trades that presented itself today for my strategy, and those were the 3 I took. Typically, I only take 2, but I was so convinced on the draw on liquidity that I would have been mad at myself if I didn't take that. So if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns about today's market, go ahead, leave them in the comments. Code LoeGpa on Lucid Trades, link is in the description. $75 all in for a 50K account. You can pass it in 1 day. No consistency rule, so go check that out, and I will catch y'all boys tomorrow.